What's up, YouTube? Oh my gracious, 50 Cent done just destroyed somebody. Hey, we're gonna get into this joint, man. Hey, don't forget, my bad, I got announcements to make. Patreons, we're pushing our Patreon, man. Become a patron, help support the channel. Boy, I know if y'all, if you trying to do a YouTube channel, you can come take my place. Man, YouTube is easier than what you think it is. The YouTube growth formula, Uncle Mike's YouTube growth formula. Check out that channel right there. I'm putting up a lot of videos about me. I'm doing reactions. And sometimes I talk about, especially on the live streams, we go live twice. And I talk about all the things that, my trials and tribulations, all the stuff you did and used and bought that don't work, and all the stuff that does work. But back to the Patreon. There you go. I'm always trying to get some of the stuff out at one time. Become a patron, man. You can actually join to become a patron for free. And we will actually send you notices for our premieres. We do 2 premieres daily, 12 o'clock premiere and a 5 o'clock premiere. Eastern Standard Time, New York time, Washington, D.C. time, whatever you want to call it. But if you become a patron and you pay, it's different tiers, I guess. And if you pay a monthly fee, like $3, we got tiers as low as $5 a month. That ain't gonna hurt nobody. But if we all come together, help build this channel, help create the channel, then we can start helping some people. Uncle Mike want to help some people. So we also giving people different videos and different tips and different techniques that we use. If you need some help with anything like online marketing and promotion and how you do this, how you do that, all that type of stuff that Uncle Mike knows how to do. Now, I'm not an expert, but you best believe I come a little better than all the rest. How about that? Hey, y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's check this bad boy. You
guys don't need to worry about me getting revenge from Diddy. I've got 3 moves that make sure he'll never be able to come after me or my family. First, I personally reached out to the victims' legal teams. The real reason he's not getting out is those buried cases behind the scenes. I provided legal funding for 7 victims who had...
Oh, hell, man, this is AI. I should fast forward this. AI, y'all. Everybody know this is AI, but this video is for entertainment purposes only. This is to entertain you. Y'all know daggone well that's not 50 Cent voice. That's his voice. Somebody should be in trouble for cloning his voice. That's not cool, man. He didn't give you permission to do this.
Been silent for years and brought in the top criminal attorneys in the country. Second, I bought up every potential post-release business deal he had lined up. I planned this 2 years in advance, so by the time he got sentenced and still had hope of getting out, every partner had already cut ties with him. Third, I don't just have evidence, I've got backups. This is an entire minefield that's been buried for 20 years. I uncovered every secret from the last 30 years. With testimonies from the victims, we interviewed over a dozen people he tricked, threatened, or violated. You think that's harsh? No, he destroyed other people's lives for decades. I'm just making sure he spends a few extra years in prison for it. I'm not afraid of his people, not afraid of his threats. I know he's still in there fantasizing about a comeback, but the truth is, he's never coming back.
50 Cent fired back at Jay-Z after he said this about him.
No one's scared of 50 Cent.
I'm about $1. What the f is 50 cents?
Jay goes, and nobody's afraid of 50 Cent. His safe presentation, what the glasses represent? Intelligence, right? A nerd, maybe? Why would you have to make that clear when no one's ever asked me if I'm afraid of Jay-Z? His largest selling record sold 430-something thousand copies. My largest selling records, plural, 2 of them sold 5 million.
In a word or a sentence, Jay-Z.
The new lawsuit coming with Jay, the part with Jay. I go, oh shoot, like
To us,
that had to be there.
We getting tighter. You know what I'm saying? United we stand, and ain't nothing else.
Black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. It's the billionaire brush.
Oh,
like,
I hate you, man.
Unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you just this year.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
You really hate Sean Combs.
But that's facts though. That's facts. You ain't seen them together after that. That's crazy. Oh man.
Why would they be thinking that?
because of the things that you post
man.
on Instagram.
Wait a minute. Hello?
Is Ziggy inside with you?
Yeah, I put the... No, he's not with me, but I put the chair up so he couldn't get out. He might be outside, though.
Oh, that's right. I did see that. Okay, bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Because of the...
Look at this.
Sorry, y'all. That's mommy.
Let's stop for a second and do say that I hated him enough to hire his kids, and we've never done anything to each other. So it's just competitive energy and things that you say about other artists while you're in hip-hop culture.
For years, tension between 50 Cent and Jay-Z lingered as industry whispers rather than headlines. But this documentary turns speculation into fact, showing two hip-hop icons rising with contrasting approaches, one embracing confrontation, the other measured strategy, while revisiting key moments to question whether true influence comes from the loud disruptor or the quiet strategist, and how much of hip-hop history might have been misjudged as coincidence.
Puffy is close, even though Jay lawyer came out and said they're not.
Because Jay-Z and Puff was given an assignment, and that was to destroy East Coast rap. And what I mean by that, and I know people gonna be like, yo, Gene is out of his mind and everything like that. Check this out, brother, is that New York rappers was getting 800 to 1.2 million, or some larger than that, and sign with labels back then. And they was getting a lot of money to make albums and records. When they had guys down south that these labels was paying $250,000, $300,000 on record deals, and these guys was bringing back platinum albums and everything like that. So what they had to do was they had to keep New York rappers down. That's one reason, other than the Irv Gotti that 50 was going through and the poison they was putting in about 50, he had to go elsewhere to California or with Jay and not with Dre and Eminem to get a deal. They did not want East Coast rappers to get big. They were suppressing all new artists that was coming out of New York.
Wow.
Jay and Diddy was doing that. That's why when I heard your story, because I knew this for a long time, but when I heard Dame Dash that Jay wouldn't sign off on nothing, Jay wouldn't do this and Jay would that, because he couldn't let a Cameron blow up. He couldn't let an East Coast rapper like Beanie Siegel blow up. Because him and Diddy was giving that deal, we gotta keep these East Coast rappers down. Because down south rappers, Cash Money, No Limit, Ludacris and them, they was taking little money and bringing back more money and making more money for them. So the record labels, I wouldn't say they was gonna lose off the East Coast rap.
At the height of physical albums.
But I know one thing, the two names, I was waiting for him to drop some names, especially when he said people were signing these $1 million contracts. What rap artists were signing $1 million contracts? That's what I wanted to know, which ones. Not saying that he lying or anything, but which ones were signing $1 million contract? I wonder, did LL Cool J sign $1 million? I don't know who was signing these $1 million contracts. I can't think that fast. But what I do know is Beanie Siegel and the other name he named. Oh man. Anyway, these guys he named, they was sharp. They was tight. Shout out, rest in peace to Big L. Big L was tight as I don't know what, way before his time. Cannabis was vicious way before his time, even though he kind of shot his own foot off or something. You know, that's a whole different other story. But Jay-Z and Diddy, there was a lot of artists that could that can go, that they didn't want to get the spotlight. So they did what they had to do so they could stay on top and be the number one man. But it's a lot of people better than all of them. Look at Nas. Nas stayed out the way. Let's keep going, man. Here we go.
Back more money and making more money for them. So the record labels, I wouldn't say they was gonna lose off the East Coast rap.
At the height of physical album sales, timing was a strategic tool, with overlaps planned rather than accidental, and 50 Cent frames this as applied pressure rather than fair competition, highlighting an industry that favors those in power, where access can matter more than talent, and raising the uneasy question of where ambition ends and intentional obstruction begins.
When Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those fucking trophies, those fucking trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
This guy. You're gonna let him say that? Jay was getting Grammys.
he had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he ain't show up.
No, he has like 20 now.
Oh, Lord.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
He was
At
one.
the same time,
He got them shits. He's like drinking. His pictures with him like fucking things the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades. Because he's no longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
Right? You were connected to the biggest.
Jay got it for the music. Jay got it for the music.
You didn't see.
He deserved those.
Those shit there was like this, like Black excellence. They're sitting there like, yeah. It's a billionaire brunch. You're like,
I hate you, man.
Unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you niggas this year. Come on, bro.
That's crazy. That's crazy. He just looking at his watch during the whole Rock Nation prayer. Like, is it 3:30?
Yeah, it's almost time to get out. What the fuck is that? Yo, I feel like I'm normal again. Get me out of here.
Oh wow! So that's the deal he signed, huh?
Yeah, that's the deal. Like the other ones didn't count as much as that one did.
While domestic charts told one story,
one of the guys said, nah, he deserved it. He deserved it. Nah, I think he don't deserve it. Think about it. If you're the only one, everybody else doing their little rap songs and everything. When Jay-Z was hitting, you got Ludacris, Jay-Z, nobody else in that category in New York area. 50 Cent couldn't get a deal. We trying to suppress everybody from getting a deal using Gene Deal's wording. We're gonna stop everybody from getting a deal so these two people can shine. And one of them was just horrible. Diddy, you was just horrible on the mic. You don't, who's hot. You think Diddy is this prime example of somebody thinking that I could just speak my sentences into a microphone and blow up and everybody gonna like it. As long as I rhyme at the end. It's an emotion. It's a feeling. When you rap, you can't just be talking like this. You have to you got to know how to put the emotions and the feelings and touch people emotions like Uncle Mike be doing on some of the songs, some of them. Anyway, Diddy he sucked at it. And he just couldn't grab it. But they accepted it almost anything that's semi-passable on tape. They went on and clipped them all together and made a verse for them. That's what happened, man. Because that's how I record my vocals. I clipped all the best stuff together and make a verse. Now they think I'm an artist. But I'm here to tell you, Uncle Mike ain't no artist. Let's go.
Global results showed another, with 50 Cent redefining success beyond local metrics, exposing how promotion budgets shape perception, and suggesting that cultural dominance is often engineered, forcing a rethink of what winning truly means.
Advise Beyonce to divorce Jay-Z as soon as possible because I'm ready to shoot a documentary about Jay-Z, and I guarantee it will outgross Diddy's documentary. If Beyonce sends me a legal letter on behalf of Jay-Z, I remind her to stay quiet. This is a dispute between men, and she has no right to interfere. I have to let everyone see the true face of Jay-Z. Jay-Z and Diddy have been longtime friends, and their business dealings never stopped. He frequently attends Diddy's parties, so why do people think he's innocent? Jay-Z and Diddy got involved in the same case in 2024, where a victim claimed she was assaulted by both Jay-Z and Diddy. I remember Jay-Z saying these were all rumors and that he was defending Diddy. But ironically, Diddy got arrested in 2025, and there's enough evidence to count his crimes on one hand. I've known him for 20 years, and I know how many bad things they've done behind the scenes. After Jay-Z founded his company, he repeatedly got into copyright disputes. In 1999, he was convicted of third-degree assault and served time in prison. He was unfaithful to Beyonce, and he was caught by Beyonce's sister. I think everyone has seen the footage of him getting beaten up in the elevator. I've already gathered the evidence, and I'm going to give Jay-Z a surprise.
Oh, yeah, before I forget this, we talked about Jay. Proximity to Diddy. You don't think he knew anything? He's seemingly around Diddy a lot.
No, that was a real suburb question.
I know, right? Proximity.
Hold on. Proximity.
Proximity. That's the SAT hit parade word. I had to learn that.
Do you think he fucking knew all of the shit that was going on? Yeah, that was like a...
I don't want to incriminate myself.
I know, but the way he said it...
Like I said,
no matter how you answer that shit, you snitching.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a nice
You asked the question like a fan.
Hey, I grew up with white people, but it's one thing I know is how to get a black guy in trouble.
But it's a great question.
Yo, just give him the Happy Meal before you ask him to snitch, bro.
That's crazy.
And it wasn't even drinking.
Speaking of, how the hell you pronounce
Lechimendewa.
Okay.
It's the King's Path.
King's Path.
Because I know Branson. That's the one I pronounce.
Branson. That's the Branson lifestyle. You're gonna be outside.
Biff, you're not worried that if you throw little and you don't throw out allegations, but like you kind of poke fun at them.
You just ask questions.
You're not worried that it comes back your way, like people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up.
I don't got that shit in my past. I'm not.
Everybody got a little bit.
Look,
like,
I took.
Not that it's real enough.
I took a pill, but it was for me to perform better. For her to remember, buddy. I didn't fucking give her a drink so she forget what the fuck happened. What the fuck is going on here, bro? Yes, I took the drugs. I gave me the fucking drug to perform. So she could remember and possibly love me for that.
Did it work?
What the fuck? Yo, bro, look, I'm doing pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just saying, this is the opposite of normal shit that we're talking about, bro.
That is why. I don't know why it's so hard for people.
So for people to feel like you would have something or you would have reserved it.
The Super Bowl controversy revealed how alliances operate under intense scrutiny, with Eminem advocating loudly for inclusion while quiet resistance unfolded behind the scenes, showing that authority relies more on approval than skill, and that true power lies with those who control access.
I said, Damon, you all right? Do you need anything? None of the people that have vocalized that another man, and to me, again, that whole conversation has been feminine. But if you're gonna say some like that, you should have actually done something to help the problem. But I never got the call from Ray saying, do you need anything? And anyone else that I've ever given, paid a bill, paid their rent, paid their college, any dollar, not one person, and I don't want them to, because they know I'm all right. But not one person has called and said, yo, could I send you something to help? But I don't need the help. But if you're gonna talk about it, be about it. But to me, that's just a jab when you tell and promote a false narrative and say that I'm in such a bad place that another dude should help me. And that my tail's in between my legs to the extent because of a lawsuit that I would actually take that money. I'm a man. I don't want nobody to give me nothing but the opportunity to do what I gotta do. And I don't see no opportunity. I don't want to perform for the Super Bowl. I'm not all right with the NFL. I'm still mad it ain't no black owners. We went from kneeling to being happy when we could perform for them. That wasn't what I was about. I was about ownership of our own league and taking pride in that. I'm not a court jester for everybody else to get good ratings. I know what we're being used for, and I'm not cool with that. So it's a big deal is to jump on a stage for a bunch of white owners? No, that's embarrassing to me. It's a spectacle. They're laughing at us. Like being tatted on the back by another culture is not how I judge my success. Only person that has the audacity to pat me on my back is my family. And they better, I'd be like, you better chill out. I don't want no pats on the back. I don't play that. I'm not in the patty pat club. On no level.
You're in the pause
feel
club.
You. But speaking of the NFL, I know right now Nicki Minaj, she calling out Jay, and I know Colin Kaepernick's wife, she called out Jay, saying that Jay did her husband wrong. But I don't know, I don't know the backstory behind that, man. But I know it's going, viral right now on social media. But I do want to ask you, how do you feel about the NFL right now in general?
It's funny. She's cool. She's cool with my wife, Rocky.
Artists around 50 Cent describe him as approachable and hands-on, while Jay-Z is seen as distant and insulated, illustrating two power models, one grounded in visibility and connection, the other in exclusivity and control, prompting the question of whether influence grows through presence or by remaining deliberately out of reach.
Who's doing it too? This is people that are looking on the separation between their hardships or their the things that they got going on that would be issues, and what a celebrity's issues would be.
Wait, what is that?
They think all celebrities are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right, and when you see, if I wasn't saying anything, guess what? You could safely say that a person on the outskirts that is not involved in hip-hop culture could think that everybody in hip-hop culture is with that shit.
Yeah. So by you, you're good, bro. You're fucking good.
Yeah.
He's protecting hip-hop.
Yeah.
If you don't speak out and make them the weirdos, then they're gonna think everybody's
Every
like
single
that.
person is like that involved in hip-hop culture.
Makes you think, did Jay do it?
Shut up.
He's in trouble. We live in New York, bro.
No.
We live here.
No,
free Jay-Z.
I'm just saying.
Shout out Mufasa. We all gonna go and support. You are crazy. That was the craziest thing. I literally.
What's the lady at Rock Nation? I gotta send her that.
You don't feel like that happened the same day, bro. What's that came out the day before? The next day
I was eating Raisin Bran. Okay, I'm eating Raisin Bran. I got my daughter in my arm. I'm scrolling. Right? I see somebody screenshot your shit. Is Jay and the whole family at the Mufasa fair? And then the comment is 50 Cent. Jay said, they said I a 13-year-old. Let's go watch Mufasa.
Everybody get dressed. We're going to see Mufasa right now. I just think it was a good look, like angling yourself as
a family man.
Yes.
But they had to go to the premiere,
that
bro.
was planned already.
They had to go to the premiere.
And I realized that later, but I'm just saying to you, I haven't seen him in a long time. That's all I'm saying. When I hadn't seen him in a long time, and then I heard this shit, and then I looked and I saw Mufasa, I said, whoa. That's all that fucking happened, bro. You think this is at my phone? This is my phone. This is happening at real time. I'm going, yo. He said, yo.
You just gotta say everyone gets these jokes, bro. That's what you gotta say.
Yeah, no,
rappers, listen, comedians are new rappers, bro. That's
why
the
do
thing.
people come to my page, bro?
That's true.
I know what I'm saying.
You know what they say?
That is true.
Well, you don't think you're gonna happen next? Yeah, that's what they say to me, buddy. Well, you're next, buddy. You're fucking, you're laughing at this.
These contrasting reputations highlight two leadership styles in hip-hop, one based on closeness and direct engagement, the other on distance and mystique, showing different expressions of power while questioning which approach earns greater trust and lasting loyalty in a culture built on connection and authenticity.
Why?
Because you don't got nothing.
I don't have it. There's no girls gonna come out.
Why you sound skeptical?
Because I think there are some women that are like. No, I think there's some women that are like.
This guy's supposed to be from Queens.
Let
me cook fucked up experience.
You kick him off the corner one time.
No. What I'm saying is I know a couple of exes that fucking throw me under the bus.
You should let him have the corner. None of this would have happened if you let him have the corner. Would have been fine.
You know, there's some like opportunists. They'll just throw out the fucking.
But that's what I'm saying. You had to have something. Look, if you already interacted with the person, right, and you hadn't had a bad experience, it would take more for them to say some of the shit that you see these people say. Right? Like, you go, what made you do? What made you? Even when we part ways, and because a lot of times when we interact with people, they're not just having fun for tonight. They think we're bleeding into this hardcore relationship that may not materialize. Right? So I see what you're saying, where they can look and go, well, look, you met the girl in 2003. You hung out with her. You had a good time after the show with 30 girls there. You just went and y'all hung out, right? And y'all just part ways. Right? So there's no negative things between it. But she can look up at the TV now, and you've been a success since then. Feel like that's my life. I was supposed to be there. And be upset with you and say something. But will it have any merit to it?
If I gotta keep
that
real,
woman hasn't been
you ain't always have the most amicable breakups. Do you remember where I think it's your baby moms, where it's like she was kind of speaking out, and then all of a sudden the house just got burnt down?
Yeah, but you know it happens. Left eye. She burned the house down.
This nigga is crazy.
That's what I was saying. No, my God, he goes, wow. So I know how you feel about me now. No. He's going. He's great. So he saw me like the man.
I want my block back.
He go. Look, I have faith in our justice.
I'm a civilian now.
There would be consequences connected to those behaviors and actions that this brother is talking about.
Oh my goodness, man.
Why is that a part of his thought process today while we're here having a good time?
That's a good ass point.
Look, you do have people that really look, when you break up with them, they don't care about you anymore.
Yeah.
So they'll say things and you go, yeah, but it doesn't hold merit. It doesn't have any no real.
Yeah, of course. After all these years, and you don't see nothing. Yeah,
the girl that's just upset with you. She's just angry with you. She got you. And you go.
Jay-Z's partnership with Beyonce blended personal story with strategic growth, blurring private life and career expansion, with critics arguing it boosted his cultural status and reinforced legitimacy, as much through association as personal achievement.
I thought the smartest thing Jay said in the statement was, if you really believe this happened, then press criminal charges. He said pull up.
But I don't think that was.
Tell me.
Okay, look. Because of the statute of limitation, there is
no criminal. So it's
making a statement is to make people feel like.
But apparently, if she's under 18, didn't you say it still could be criminal? Yeah. He knows he's fed.
He used to be a cop. So you turned him into a cop. He used to sell drugs and then he became a police officer. Did you know that?
How to rob. Glorified security.
But you know what he would do? When they would arrest G-Unit guys, he would be like, yes. And he was in the court
every time. Bitch.
I was actually the cool one. I'll give you the extra fucking cheese sandwiches and shit like that. I'll be looking out.
Take care of the family.
Hey, you know, I don't know, man. I think what's the name? I get confused too. When you look at this shit, it's a lot of confusing information, right? But I think when you do point out that why didn't you file criminal cases? Because you can't. It's over 20 years old. This was 2000, bro.
No, but I think if it's a minor,
when they're saying this is happening, I'm not even 50 Cent yet.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
You see what I'm saying? Like this is that far back.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not. It didn't even take place at that.
Supporters see it as natural evolution, but either way, it shows how legacy is managed as precisely as music, with personal relationships and brand strategy merging so seamlessly that it's hard to tell where genuine connection stops and calculated image starts.
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough.
Real life. Why they putting they intro in they song? This is what goes through Uncle Mike's mind as a producer. And you know, so I gotta cut it so it can break it up. You know what I'm saying? Copyrights and stuff, man. I'm trying to make sure I'm doing the work for my editors don't have to cut this because the music and everything might be copywritten. You feel me?
It ain't real life.
It's fun to do this, but at the same time, you gotta do some work. And I teach this in my YouTube course.
Real life.
And also, no, I keep stopping it while they doing this. Hey, why y'all? That's
so
crazy.
Why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time. Like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
Whoa.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
He wants to be the
shout out
one.
D. Haven. He actually hit us up, wanted to tell this story.
You need to talk to D. Haven.
Yeah, we need to talk to him.
I told you that last year when I put you on the phone with him.
You did.
I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other.
As past conflicts meet new legal challenges, the story shifts from dominance to accountability, with the documentary examining the structures that protect power and silence, showing how fame amplifies both success and scrutiny, and questioning whether the industry can confront these issues with honesty and integrity even decades later.
You knew Jay personally, right?
Know him, been around him a couple of times, brother. Been around him a few times, but I didn't know him. Know him as I'm sitting down and I'm breaking bread, eating off, eating a meal around him and shit like that, laughing, talking and joking like that. I've been around Jay-Z, and one time I wanted to knock his head off, because he was being disrespectful, but he didn't know he was being disrespectful because he ain't that type of dude. You understand what I'm saying?
What happened?
We was in Cancun and he had a personal assistant from my block named Laura, and he had brought like 3 people to the club. He had brought like 6 people to the club with him, and he was only supposed to get 3 people in. Mm-hmm. I was running the door at Daddy-O's from Industry Entertainment. They just told me Jay-Z only get 3 people in. Mm-hmm. You understand? So I'm at the door. I say, yo, Jay, you good, and 3 of your other good, but the other 3 gotta pay. So then he said, Laura, handle him. And at that time, the type of dude I was, you couldn't tell no woman to handle me. You understand? When I'm talking to you as a man. So then I said, who you talking to like that? You telling her to handle me? You know what I'm saying? And then me and him, he didn't say nothing. He just turned to the side. And if he'd have turned back around, he'd have got his head knocked off. But Laura told me, yo, Gene, please, Gene, you gonna make me lose my job. You know what I'm saying? And because 1, she was beautiful, 2, she from our block. You understand? I wasn't gonna do that to her. You understand? So I gathered myself, stepped away from the situation, and then the promoter said Jay can let his people come in. You know what I'm saying? But he was being disrespectful. This is the same dude that Harlem cats used to laugh at and joke at. Even we was out there that time, he came to Cancun and he had a fake Versace shirt on and they was ripping him. I mean, they was ripping him. I know he's a billionaire now, he can wear whatever he got. He got $10 million watches and shit like that. But we talking about back then. You understand? We still have those stories from back then. And it's good that a brother can uplift himself. And that's why he's the type of person that he is, because he knew how guys used to treat him. That's why you could see him trying to sun people based on somebody who gets in that type of situation. You understand? This dude had the same cream deli silk shirt that I had. Now, cream deli cream shirts were fake printed Versace shirts. They were nice. You pay $45 for them, but you can't wear that around Harlem cats. You understand what I'm saying?
They're gonna laugh
Not
at
if
you.
you in the rap industry. At that time, they used to have diamond testers. You understand? They'll roll up on the cat, and if your diamond don't beat, you understand? They'll talk about you. Snatch your chain off or whatever like that. So he had the fake cream deli cream shirt on, and they was roasting him. I think I seen him in a black t-shirt from that point on in Cancun the whole time he was there. Yo, let me just tell you something. When dudes from Harlem got something on you, bro, and they joking you, they had it. They gonna stop until somebody with some power or somebody with some money say, yo, get that dude a break. Give him a break. So Dame probably used to let him get him in a little bit, but then when Dame was like, yo, let my man live. Let him live. They probably back up off of him or stuff like that. But they was joking, they was talking and stuff like that. And cause you just don't do that. You don't come to no major event with nothing fake or phony on. Not at all. Unless the only way you could get away with something fake or phony on, if it was Dapper Dan. If it was a Dapper Dan special, you good.
He critiques a culture of silent compliance, arguing that what seems like restraint is often a tactic of self-preservation rather than genuine neutrality.
If it wasn't Dapper Dan, nah, you couldn't do that, bro. Not at all. Should have known better, but he was from Brooklyn.
But from what you know about Jay, do you believe he's capable of doing what he's being accused of?
What I know of Jay, and what have I heard of Jay, I want to say this to protect myself, that there's stories of Jay talking to underage girls.
And boys.
It was a girl from my block.
Allegedly.
That was 16, 17 years old that Jay was talking to. If she was 17. So there's plenty of stories out there that they might flood the market of Jay talking to underage girls. I heard this kid that is claiming to be his son. His mother was 15 when she conceived him and had him at 16. And Jay refused to do a blood test or anything like that. And all of a sudden, when this has gotten real big and Tony Bugsby had taken the kid's case, the kid just got arrested for having a gun in his car, I think like that. Did you hear something about that? That the kid got arrested for having a gun in his car, and when they go and watch the tape, somebody was planting a gun in the kid's car. Now the kid who never been in trouble to that degree, and now he's facing a case for a gun case for having a loaded firearm in his car. So, answer your question. There's plenty of stories. Ain't Beyonce one of those stories? Isn't Foxy Brown one of those stories? Isn't that kid mother one of his stories? There's a lot of stories, bro. So that's what I say about it.
By speaking openly, he challenges an industry that values silence over truth, raising the question of why so many hesitate to use their voice when influence depends on it.
Oh my God, I hate when they cut it like that. But hey, that's how they do to get these videos to get more views and stuff. They cut it once you start talking like I'm doing, people click away, go to the next video. They don't want to hear what you got to say. Y'all need to check out this next video. The court just revealed something big about Diddy. You want to check this one out because it's going to blow your mind. Peace out.